this this was my upbringing. You know, being a young black kid from South Central Los Angeles, I was very deep into sports at a young age. I played basketball, baseball, and football since I was 3 years old. I was riding bikes around my neighborhood. I played the same sports at the same park as the other neighborhood kids since I was 3, 4 years old. And pun intended, I had an all-American upbringing. Yes, South Central comes with its own sort of stigma towards it, but again, it was riding bikes around my neighborhood. It was hanging out with friends. It was our block versus the next block. It was summer vacations, going to summer camps, and just everything that comes with being a youth in the 90s. Now, during this time, and again, I want to talk about some of those key moments and decisions that I had to make, and you guys will absolutely understand this. But at a very young age, more often than not, young black kids have to make life decisions earlier than other cultures, other demographics. And for me, the first decision, I would say my first biggest decision, was going to Beverly Hills High School. That was the age where, you're in seventh, eighth grade, you're starting to understand, starting to define what your path might look like. It's not fully clear yet, but the next big decision for you guys in the seventh, sixth, seventh, eighth grade is to go to high school. Which high school are you going to go to? Some of you guys are going to split it. Like some of your closest friends, you guys will be going to different high schools. Now, what's different from All-American is I did not go to Crenshaw High School. Crenshaw High School was my home school. I grew up right down the street from it. But from eighth grade, I knew I had to go directly to Beverly Hills High School. It was a decision that my parents put on me, and I fought them tooth and nail to try to go to either Crenshaw High School or Inglewood High School. But it was the decision for me that ultimately changed my life. So entering Beverly Hills High School, it was as much like the show, if you guys have watched it, especially in that first season, where I was a fish out of water. I grew up in South Central. I went to elementary and middle school in Inglewood, California, and it was predominantly Black and Latino. Going to Beverly Hills High School immediately flipped that on its head to where I was now part of a high school community that was only 2% Black. So I'm getting asked the questions, are you in a gang? Are you Blood or are you Crip? Have you seen a drive-by? Have you seen Dead by? I've seen all of that stuff. But I will say going to Beverly Hills High School was one of the best decisions of my life that my parents put on me, because it allowed me to understand the world was bigger than just my community of South Central Los Angeles. It allowed me to understand different cultures and ethnicities in a deeper way than what some of you may be experiencing now, just mainly being on social media and understanding these different cultures and ethnicities through sort of storylines that have been fed to you. I was able to sit next to Asian American, Jewish, Armenian, Muslim classmates, and really understand that at the end of the day, we were all just teenagers trying to figure it out. So now, almost 20 years later, now I really sound old. Almost 20 years later, when a lot of these stories and topics are happening and so hyperbolic in the world, I can call on some of those same friends that I've cultivated over the past 20 years and really get a grounded perspective of what's happening in their community and how these storylines may be true and or false.